Hey there, everyone. It's Abby here, and welcome to another episode of Modern Day Unicorns. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have a special guest here with me, and I'm going to let him tell you all about himself because I'm interested in learning myself. Hey, Jay, how you doing
I'm
today?
good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, I think I ran across your profile on Instagram, and I was like, this guy's everywhere and doing everything. So I was like, let me reach out and see if I can get him on the podcast really quick. So, thank you for accepting the
Well,
invitation.
thank you for considering me. Thank you for the invitation. I greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be
My
here.
pleasure. Now, can you please tell us about yourself? You know, your name, where you're from, where you are currently, things like that.
Okay, so I go by the name of J Lee. I am from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. I currently reside in Dubai or the UAE. Been here for almost 5 years now.
All right. Okay. And so, what brought you to the UAE?
Well, an opportunity presented itself where I could come out here and teach abroad. So that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years. I've been teaching here for 5 years. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Is there any particular subject, or have you kind of been bouncing around with different things?
Well, currently I'm teaching English. I
Mm-hmm.
am a um, I was brought here to teach business education, but for whatever reason they were short English teachers. So I am a native English speaker. So I'm an English teacher out here in the UAE.
Okay. I hear you on that. I was in Dubai for 3 years teaching physical
Okay.
education. So now I'm in Abu Dhabi freelancing. But that's what's up. Okay, so you're here,
Okay.
and what I'm intrigued about is the fact that you came here to teach, but now you are branching off and doing other things. Can you give us a little insight into some of the, I don't want to necessarily call them side hustles if they're not, but what else are you involved in business wise or and things like that?
Okay, so ultimately, I'm a traveler. Um, I love to travel, so travel has kind of like opened up some other doors, some entrepreneur doors for me. So I get a lot of people always asking, and I'm glad that I get to explain this too. I get a lot of people always asking, about details for travel and stuff like that, and I for the longest, I've just been like, giving people, free information. And I've also, well, let me rewind. When I travel to a certain degree that it fits for me. So that entails me doing a lot of research on the locations and a lot of research on, like, private drivers, photographers, restaurants and things, excursions, just a lot of research. So it's a lot of time and effort to go and planning that goes into traveling. So for the longest, people will ask information, and I really, had no problem with giving people information. Um, but now it's gotten to the point where, like, some people just kind of like depend on you and want all of your information, and they're not. It's a give situation, or take situation, and I'm not getting anything out of it. So also on the same side of that, like, as a traveler, I noticed that I guess I'm somewhat of an influencer as well. And so, like, me plugging these hotels and photographers and drivers that I've researched and found, I get I get nothing out of, bringing them customers, and I'm paying regular price for these items. So basically, I said all that to say, I created a website called Handsome Gent Travels, where I offer my itineraries for my trips that I've been. And the most successful one has been the one that I did for Egypt. I did Egypt during Christmas. I did like almost 10 days. Well, I did do 10 days, 10 days in Egypt. And it was a very extensive trip with a lot of planning, a lot of research, and a lot of just like talking to people and trying to get, organizing things. So I put the itinerary out, and people have been purchasing it, and so it's a good way to um, help others travel, and also, you know, um, It's been very easy though. I mean, because like a lot of times I get people so many times people don't even speak to you. They just in your inbox, yo, where's this place? Yo, send me the information to this. Like, okay, no, hey, how you doing? My name is, nice to meet you. I love your pictures and nothing like that. It's just like, so when people ask about the information, I just like, well, it's available on my website. And if you want to purchase it, you purchase it. If not, it's no problem. So it's just kind of like, I mean, if I can do the research, you can do the research too. But if I'm going to make it easy for you, I need to get something out of the situation. So especially like when I'm reaching out to hotels and they are not even interested in partnering or discounting or anything for the content that I'm creating there, and the influence that I'm influence people to actually go there. So I mean, this is just my way of, I guess,
Monetizing.
monetizing the travel. So that's one aspect of things. And I so far I have three itineraries up. I'm actually, so much stuff is going on. I haven't been able to upload the rest of them, but I have a few more countries that I'm going to do. I know I'm going to do Guatemala, going to do Panama, and I'm also going to do one for Dubai, um, and yeah, some more other countries that I plan on traveling to that I'm actually researching right now. Outside of that, I wrote my first children's book, which is, um, I guess you can say, a, I don't know how to, what's the word I'm looking for? It depicts my travel life. It's a children
Hmm.
books that is a children series that is going to basically talk about travel, and exposing kids to travel and different aspects of the travel world, culture and things that kids have to experience when they're traveling there, being in the airport, passports, and things of that nature. So the first installment is called, oh, I have it right here. The first installment is Junior's Adventures. This is the first of the series. It's out on Amazon, and you can get it. But it's a good way to expose kids to travel, especially kids that look like me. That was very important to me to kind of give back. I know how important exposure is, and I know a lot of times our black kids are not exposed to travel at a younger age. So I wanted to, create something that would open their eyes and kind of intrigue them and want to know more about travel, to want to travel and want to see the world. So
Mm.
that's that. And then I have some other stuff that I'm working on. I have, there's a whole other side to J Lee that a lot of people on this side of the world don't know about. But I've dabbled in production, writing, and directing and producing. So I'm gearing up to do my first production here in Dubai. I'm really excited about that. It's in the planning phases right now, but more details are to come. Just know that Jay Lee is more than just a traveler.
So listen, man, you've said a
Yeah.
mouthful, and you are quite the busy guy. That's amazing. So, I have been in similar situations to where you have a resource or information or expertise in a certain area, and people do just expect to receive this for free, or expecting the kindness of your heart to ever
Mhm.
flow. Not that you don't want to be kind, but I know that there's extensive amounts of research and things that go into putting trips together. I'm definitely the person that when I travel with my friends, I'm like, just tell me where to swipe. I don't necessarily care where we go, how we get there, as long as we're safe and I get something to eat. I can possibly sleep in a bed, like, do whatever y'all want to do. I'm just there to
Okay.
document. So people like you, I appreciate people like you who can put trips together and have amazing experiences. I'm sure that many people have seen your Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, where is that? So realize, to all of our listeners, like, we put in work for the things that we do and the expertise that we build, and it's only right, or it's only fair, that if you expect something, that we can also expect something as well. So my respect to you in offering that as a service, as a plus, as a guarantee for people to have a great time, because you've experienced it yourself, being that you went to the hotels and you used the drivers and you went on these excursions. So encouraging people like go support my man out here who is living his thing, but give him his props. And yeah, shout out to you in the book as well. Like that's amazing. I've worked in inner city schools. I'm not sure if you have,
Hmm.
but our children are missing out on opportunities of lifetimes to where they may not have been out of their state. Or, I worked in DC and they had never been to Baltimore, which is like you can accidentally get to Baltimore.
Yeah, I've actually taught in inner city schools as well, and the crazy thing is, I taught in Atlanta, on the south side of Atlanta, and some of those kids had never been to the north side. So, like, that's
Mm,
just how it is for the inner city kids, and what better way to expose them than just by putting it in a book, and
okay,
that's the best way to get it out there to them.
I understand that. So where are you from? Did you say
Yes,
where you
I'm
were
from
from?
Mississippi.
Yes, you said
Yeah.
Mississippi. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm about to say you said Atlanta, so I'm from Marietta. So I was just like, did
Yeah,
he
yeah.
say Atlanta or somewhere
I
else?
was born and raised in Mississippi, but I lived in Georgia prior to moving to here.
All right. So what brought you abroad? What was that change, that shift that said, all right, got to go?
Honestly, it was divine intervention, I would say. I mean, I think it was preordained for me to be here. Like, this is my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly never had the huge desire to leave the country. Didn't really know anything about Dubai. I didn't get my passport until I got the job, to be honest with you. That's just how this just kind of came about. I applied to teach abroad after completing my undergrad degree, but for whatever reason, um, they were only looking for English teachers, so I didn't get past the first interview. So they kept me in the database. I was teaching, moved to Atlanta, sitting in my desk, and I see an email come through saying, "Would you move to Dubai for this amount of money?" And I was like, "Yeah." I don't know anything about Dubai, but I saw the dollar sign, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So I mean, since I was already in their database, all I had to do was just click one button, and that one button changed my life. Like, I clicked the button literally like in maybe 2 or 3 days. I had a phone interview. Then next thing I know, they were saying, "Oh, we're going to be in Atlanta this weekend or next weekend. We need to come in for a face-to-face interview." Did that, and the rest is history. Next thing I know, I'm getting a flight ticket, playing sell, not breaking my lease, but moving out of my apartment, put my stuff in storage, and I was really only supposed to be here for 2 years. That was in 2017, August. I came 2017 in August. Was only supposed to do 2 years and back in the States, and here we are, 2021, and I'm still here.
Hey, listen, I'm
Yeah,
still here too. I'm still here too. Shout out to positioning. Like what a ways. Like I'm sure you probably even forgot that you had your information in this database, and here comes this random email. You're just like,
yeah,
huh?
exactly. That's why I say it was God. It was the way everything lined up and just worked itself out. Like, I was able to finish my specialist before moving out here. Like, literally graduated the first weekend in August, and like the second weekend in August, I was moving to Dubai. So, like, everything lined up. There was like, when it's in His will, everything just is in His will. It just comes together.
Now, what I like about your story is that you are not set on one thing. That you are passionate about travel. You are an educator. You are an author. You are a director. So you are doing these things
Mm.
simultaneously. Like, granted, each one has its time and place. You're not traveling all of the time, but how are you able to manage all of your different efforts, or what type of systems or strategies have you created for yourself to ensure that you having growth in each area?
Well, the for the longest, I've actually just kind of been like just here working and traveling. I had the idea about the book, but I think when I got here, I kind of felt like I was a small fish in a big pond, and so I kind of like fell back on a lot of entrepreneur things and just kind of, I don't know, but I was also tired though when I got here too, because I have worked really, really hard when I was in the States. I worked really, really hard. I was that type of teacher that went far and beyond. I was getting to school early and leave late. So one of the first to get there, one of the last to leave. I was always doing extra initiatives, trying to expose the kids to different things. So when I got here, I just wanted to be a teacher. I didn't want to do anything other than teach. So I that's what I did for the first 3 4 years, and then started to feel kind of I'm not gonna say empty, or just felt like I wasn't. I knew that I could be doing more, and I had the idea about the website. I had the idea about the children's book, but I kind of just was sleeping on it, and kind of had filled with a little self doubt as well. But I had a come to Jesus meeting with a friend, and she kind of put some things in perspective for me, and I just got off my ass and I did it. Excuse my language. So I'm just doing
Listen,
it. I don't have a
hey,
system. The production stuff is definitely something I've already, that I've been doing for years. I just kind of put it on pause when I moved here. The book is new. It actually didn't take any effort to write it. It just kind of came effortlessly. So I did that, and then traveling is, when I have the time, I go. And right now, I'm looking forward to going somewhere in the next couple of weeks. I'm just trying to decide where I'm going to go.
so tell us about your favorite trip thus far.
Ooh, I hate that question because
I
that
know, but it always
I love
comes.
every place that I've ever visited because it's always been a new place, and I've always discovered something about it that I like. I will say, I just will tell you this. Last year for spring break, I went to Georgia, the country Georgia. That
Mm-hmm.
place gave me so much. I really underestimated that country. I did not think I was going to enjoy it that much. I just did not think it was gonna be what it was, and it was everything. Like I was, I love an inexpensive country. I love a country that you can do multiple things. I skied, did things on it. Went into the mountains or a cabin. Like I did a lot. It's a wine country, so it was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. Egypt was really nice. This is my second time going to Egypt, and I feel like I really got a chance to explore and see Egypt. Um, and El Salvador, like I by far enjoyed my trip in El Salvador last summer. Like I didn't expect it to be as nice as it was, but it was really dope too. So, like I said, I mean, it's really hard to say favorite because I've had so many places that I've enjoyed doing. But now I'm at the point. At first, I was trying to get all these stamps and just, I want to go here, I got to go here, got to go here, I want to go here. But now I am really just I'm doubling back on some countries that I feel like I could have gotten more out of if I had a kind of
Mm-hmm.
explored a little bit more or did more research. Because a lot of places like Egypt was like one of the first countries that I went to, and I didn't really know how to plan a trip then or the the importance of research or for a trip. So me going back the second time really allowed me to utilize the skills that I learned throughout my travels, and I had a good time.
Mm. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question here. I'm gonna ask another question a little bit later, but in terms
Mm-hmm.
of tips, right? So when it comes to people who are looking to potentially create their own trip or plan their own trip, what are three like top things that you would tell them to consider when it comes? Because I think each traveler is different. So we said me, I'm a lazy traveler. I don't care where we go, what we do. I just want to be there. Then you got the person who plans from the minute they get up in the morning to catch a flight to the minute they land back, at their home. So maybe I'll ask first, like what type of traveler you are, and maybe the top three things that you consider as you are planning a
Well,
trip.
I try to be very flexible with my planning, but because you cannot certain things you just cannot account for. You don't know what the weather is going to be like. Any foreseen things. I remember I went to Guatemala and we were stuck in this long line of traffic because they were having a protest. Can't plan for that. So, like, you just have to be flexible. But I would say try not to plan any excursion on your actual travel day. Give yourself. That's one of the things I learned the hard way. Um, the travel day just need to be a travel day. If you can do anything, make sure that you do it later on in the day. I try not to plan anything on my travel day. Try to find at least one nice restaurant to eat at. I'm getting better with trying local food in different countries. At first, that wasn't my thing, but I definitely think you should at least try to do something like that. Um, and anytime that I can, I guess, get a local experience, that's important as well. And these are things that I'm, now starting to um, look for. It wasn't like a top priority when I first started moving. I mean, not moving, first started traveling, but now it is. Now it
Mm-hmm.
is. Definitely want to make sure I experience those things.
All right. So my next topic and or question is
Hmm.
about content. So I'm a digital media strategist, and I help businesses, entrepreneurs, whoever, kind of figure out how they want to show up online, and then how they can do it authentically and like consistently. With you, you are content is everywhere for you. But one of the things that I like to tell people is that they need to focus on what it is that they're sharing on their platform and to their community, so that they don't get frustrated with not knowing what they want to share. So my question to you is, when you are on these vacations, when you're taking these trips, what do you focus on, or what areas, let's say for your niche, if you're on a trip, how do you determine what you capture and what you just enjoy?
Um, I am definitely learning to live in the moment a little bit more than normal. But a lot of times I don't necessarily go out for trying to get like when I'm in a place like, okay, where can I get this the best picture at? Not sometimes this stuff just kind of happens, or just playing around with it. But I do like to, when it comes to like posting content or posting things on my page, I like to post things that make people like, oh, where is this, or what are you doing, or um, so I guess it can be like experiences or stuff like that. That's the things that
Mm-hmm.
I like to post. And I also like to capture um, less known things or stuff that's not just like so popular. But then you also want to capture stuff that lets you know, because I did get mad at a photographer. Um, I want you to know that I'm in this country. I had a photographer take my pictures in Amsterdam on the canal, and he blurred out the background. And I was really upset when I got my photos, because I was like, these pictures look like I could have been anywhere. Like, this does not say that I'm Amsterdam. So a lot of times I do want a photo that says that I am in Turkey, or that I am in Bali, or I'm in wherever I'm at. You want a photo that says I'm in Dubai. Like, this picture lets you know that you are in Dubai. That's what I want.
So all the photographers, make sure you change your f-stop. Okay. So don't just shoot everything in 1.4. Okay. So go ahead and scale out, get that 5.6 in there, so that we can see what's behind people. Okay. I like you speaking to me too. I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody don't want bokeh. We got it. We
No,
got it.
you definitely need to know where you're at. I am very big on. I'm not a big souvenir person. I tell anybody that I travel with, I would rather spend instead of buying souvenirs, I'd rather pay for a photographer, because these pictures will last a lifetime. I posted a picture yesterday of a trip that I went on yesterday, day before yesterday, 3 years ago, to Greece. And it's so crazy. Like, people was like, "Oh, you're in Greece right now," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." But it lets me know that photo is timeless. So although it's taken 3 years ago, it still does what it needs to do today. So it's a timeless photo that no matter when I post it, it's gonna look like I'm there, and that's what I like.
That's it. And see, people, that is the power of repurposing content, making sure you comb through all of your stuff. It is still valid no matter what the time or year, you have something to relate it to. So thank you for making that point for me.
Yes, yes, I have a lot of stuff I'm not posting. A lot.
All right, so let's transition a little bit. I want to know. maybe a fear or a challenge that you've come across, and maybe that you may be dealing with present day as you are continuing to, hone in on your entrepreneurial journey while still living abroad and teaching. Like, how are you handling the challenges that come your way for stuff like that?
Um, well, I think I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I don't know what in the world happened when I got here. I don't know, I just got real intimidated. So I think that was, and sometimes I underestimate the amount of influence that I have. Um, and you don't really see, um, I think one of the things that I just need to focus on is believing more in myself. I have people around me that believe more in me
Mm-hmm.
than I do believe in myself. So, and it is used to be crazy. That's crazy to me because I've never had this problem before. I've always been a person that's not afraid to put something out there as far as like a project or something like that. But I don't know. I guess moving abroad just, taking me out of my element. It's kind of like I put that little fear in me of failure or something like that. And I always have had this motto: if I like it, if I'm satisfied with it, if it fits, if it's up to my standard, then it doesn't matter how anybody else perceives it or likes it because I'm just that confident in it.
Mm.
So I lost that somewhere around the moving here, but I'm getting it back. And not to sound conceited or cocky or anything like that, but I just feel like I hold things to a higher standard than others, and if it meets my standards, then I don't really care what anyone else says or thinks. So
Well,
I'm
there
getting
you
back
have
to
it.
that. I'm getting back to that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to thank you for the time that you spent with me thus far. But before I let you go, I would like you to share three additional tips. I know we got some from you earlier, but any tips that you have for somebody looking to be maybe in a similar position as you or just needing some encouragement with the projects or ideas that they have. What are some things that you would tell those individuals to support them and to give them encouragement to get started?
I think the biggest thing is getting started or the doing it. A lot of times, we sit on these ideas, we sit on these dreams, and we don't act on it. So I think the biggest thing you need to do is you need to do it, and it's kind of it's easy. It's easier said than done. I know because I can speak for myself. But when you do it, you just feel so much. I don't know. I mean I can't explain to you the feeling that I felt when I finally was able to get my hands on this. After I put this together. So I mean like it's a sense of accomplishment. But definitely believe in yourself regardless of if no one believes in you. Believe in yourself because if you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in you. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
it was the opposite. Like other people saw things in me, I guess because they know my capabilities, and they were like, what is going on? Why are you not, doing anything? So, like I said, I was sleeping on myself. Um, do it, believe in yourself, and just trust your gut. Trust your gut. It's not going to lead you wrong. Trust your gut.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for that so much. Um, Please tell us all of the places and spaces that we can follow, support, purchase, your itineraries and things like you know what I'm saying. So go ahead and share that with us so we can let the
All
people
right.
know.
So on Instagram, you can find me at Handsome Gent 14. That's Handsome Gent 14. You can also find the itineraries at Handsome Gent Travels with an S .com, and you can find Junior's Adventures, the children's book. You can find that on Amazon. And Junior's Adventures also has an Instagram account that you can follow for like different things that we're going to be doing. I'm getting ready to do a book signing. I'm sorry. a book signing with a fellow friend author as well. She's real dope. She actually edited my book. Um, we're getting ready to do a joint book signing in April. So in Dubai, exciting. Yeah, so that's where you can find me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Well, no, I'm not really on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and I am on my website. You can't get me on Instagram on my website. I don't think you need to be getting me, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Well, J Lee, I want to thank you so much once again for joining us today. And for all of you people who are listening or watching, make sure you check him out. I'm sure he's going to be going on another fabulous trip, or check out some of his older trips as well on his pages. If you are a unicorn yourself, or you know anybody that is, I'd love to have a conversation with them. So go ahead and shoot me a DM or leave a comment below. You can follow us as well on Instagram at Modern Day Unicorns, and still getting the Facebook page together, but it's on its way. So until next time, folks, we thank you and we'll see you soon.